Hello guys, today we are going to explain about the topic which is the component networks assignment. So here, my name is Chun Seng, so I'm gonna with my group members, Jeremy Lazarus, Jerome to explain about this assignment. So now let's proceed to the introduction part. So at here, me and the Javier is being assigned as a LAN engineer to design a network architecture that can accommodate the organization present and the future needs. The company, the name which is the Sri Muda Ghost Niran Berhad. So now let's proceed to the addressing design. So in this case, we are more using in the VLSM IP address so that we can maximize all the usage of the IP address. So there's no any wasting space inside the IPv4 address. So now so here's the example for the calculation for one of the management, which is the management department. So the network is being assigned as the IP address 172.16.8.0. So the address class is the class B, and the subnet mask and the custom subnet mask is also been showing here, and the number of hosts needed is 48. Since that is have a 20% needed growth from the future, so it's also been added for the calculation. So here we have the subnetting details for all the calculation, and then subnet mask as /26. So since we need 6 bits for the host, the subnet mask is 26 bits long. So here is all the address after that. Here is all the total growth is being calculated and also been filled inside the table. Like for the first example is the management department, the number of hosts required is 40. So it's had a 20% growth of which is 8. So the total 48. So here is the network configuration addressing. Like for the first one, we also been arranging into the descending order so that it can maximize using all the space of the IPv4 address. So from the first part, it's like 240 is the biggest, so we arranging into the smallest part, which is only 2. So at the behind is all the calculation for the prefix and the subnet address, usable range, and the broadcast address. So the next is the network configuration. So here, for the first part, for example, is the manufacturing is at the 240. So the host bit is the 256 and prefix 24. So that the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. So that is already according to the prefix. So that is will maximize. So and here is the usable range from start to the end. And this is the range from subnet address to the broadcast address. Okay, next, this is the rearranging according to the building and also.
And then next is the and let's show. So here's already show all the part of the IP address is being assigned into the table and also is arranging according to all the building lah. So the third part is the addressing table. All the addressing table is according to each of the intermediary the network device. So for the first example is like switch 1, the interface is gigabyte Ethernet 0/0. The IPv4 address is also assigning, and the subnet mask is also be assigning according to each of the device, and the default gateway is unknown since it's the router, and only the switch will be assigned the default net mask, default gateway. Sorry, it's the default gateway, so that it will find according to the IP address exactly, so it won't crash with each other network. So come to the next part is the network topology. So in this case, we are drawing a star topology to link all the department accordingly. Like a building A, we have 6 departments. So every department is being assigned like 1 switch and 3 PC, for example, to represent 48 hosts and etc. is also representing like use very less device to represent the big number of the hosts lah. Like the building B is also using the same method as the previous to use like 1 switch and 3 PC, and the building C as well, and the building D as well.
Thank you to Chun Seng for explaining from the introduction to the network topology. Now I'll continue with explaining the network configuration. So I'll first start out with all the routers that I use in this network configuration. So as you can see over here, these are all the commands that we type, like for example, enable configure terminal, then we type our host name and our router name, and then we add our line console 0 password. So this password is used for security reasons. And then after once a user is able to log in with their password, then they have to enable their password again, as well as enable their secret class, which is 2024. And then they have to type out service password encryption, as well as the banner message of the day, which is this is a secure system, authorized access only. So when we type all of these command, we are going to make like a password for other users to use. So then after that, everything will be configured from console. Then later we just type copy run config startup config. So next, let's get to the switches. So in our assignment, we have a few switches that we use. So I'm just going to show you how one of our switches work. So let's say we use switch number 1. So we enable it, then we config T, then after that we put our host name switch. So here there's a bit of a typo, which is supposed to be switch 1. Then after that, after we type switch 1, then we type line console 0, our password, which is Cisco24, our login and our enable password Cisco24, which is basically all of this is from the router. Then the user will get this message and all. Then let's say we talk about our router. Which will start to involve our gigabit internet interface. Let's say we go to our router 1, for example. Our router 1 will show as let's say a user need to enter his password first, which is Cisco24, and then after that router 1, then just en your password, then config T interface gig 0/0, then you enter the IP address as well as the subnet mask, and then you type no shut as well, and then after that you just press enter again and all the messages will appear, and then you exit. So the same works for gigabit internet 1/0, 20, 30, 40, and so on. So let's move to our switch. So for our switch, we also have, is a bit similar like a router, which means once we already have the fixed command for our first switch, the other switches will be the same command. So let's say we go for our first switch, we enter interface VLAN 1, we enter our IP address as well as our subnet mask, and then we just put no shut, and then once we press enter, and then we press enter again, this message will appear, interface VLAN 1's change state to hot, and another message will appear again, and then after that we have to type in our IP default gateway, and then we just press N. So after that we already enter the command for switch 01. It applies the same for switch 02 as well. As you can see, we enter a different IP address, which is, we enter a different IP address as you can see, and a different subnet mask, and the IP default gateway is also different, and it works the same for 3, 4, 5. In this case we did like 5 for our example. Let's get to the ping connectivity. So in here, all the ping connectivity are also just screenshots to show that our routers from different within the same building to a different building also works. So let me just show you how our ping connectivity will work. So our ping connectivity will work like this. Let's say I take the let's say I attempt to take the furthest PC to another PC. So let's say I take PC 0 all the way to maybe PC 45. Let me zoom in a bit. Yeah. So let's say PC 0 to PC 45. So let's say I go to PC 45. I take its IP config, and then I just go back to PC 0. I go to its command prompt. I just type ping, and then I enter the IP address of PC 45 earlier. So if I attempt to ping it, yeah. So because this is the first time PC 0 connecting to PC 45, so there will be a bit of packet loss, which is 25%. But if I try to ping it again, then there should be no packet loss. It works the same for others as well. So let me move on to my last part, which is the digital resources that I use. So we use only 6 digital resources. The first one, which is YouTube, to showcase our assignment, which is just to upload. It works the same with Facebook. Cisco Packet Tracer to let us draw this network topology and add in the routers, the servers, no, the switch and the PCs as well. We use Google Meet so that we can do this recording now, so that I can talk with my team member. We use Word to document whatever we type for our assignment, and we use OBS to record our video that is going to be uploaded. So I think that's the end of our session for now. So yeah, thank you and have a nice day.